Meltdown, and today I'm joined by.
Hi, this is Alex from the Vintage Caravan. Nice to meet you, Seb. And I'm loving the backdrop you have.
Yeah, thanks. Cheers, man. Okay,
Yeah, cheers.
so let's start with the new album. What was the first spark that lit the fire for Portals then?
Um, well, I guess, it's our sixth album, so it's like, what is the spark anymore? I don't know. Like this time, I think it was really about like trying new things,
Yeah,
and um, we've been a band for a very long time, uh, so now it feels like we I think we're at the hump, where we actually, stop worrying about what other people think and just you know really just go for it, whatever we want to do. So and I think that really shows with this new album. We took a lot of chances, and yeah, and I think, yeah, I think it's a, uh, yeah, it happened well. So
cool. So, what about reviews and that? Have you had many reviews yet? And what's the feedback been like from fans to songs you have released?
mhm. Oh, uh, everything has been super positive so far, and actually, just the funny thing about it is that the like every review says different songs, and I'm hoping that's a sign that, like, most of the songs are pretty good, like, because even when we were choosing singles, we'd ask everybody, like people from radio, people from whoever, and everybody had a different list. So um, either that means that the album is really bad, or that it's really good. So it's yeah, hopefully either or.
So you say this is your sixth album. So is it going to be difficult then to choose a set list when you're out on tour?
Oh my God, yeah, it feels kind of comical that we're still this young, and we already have to deal with, like, should we play a 2 hour show?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
when it's like six albums, like, we'd love to play something from every album, and we'd love to play 3 or 4 songs from every album, but it's just not realistic anymore. And now we just have to kind of choose. But I think, in a way, that kind of brings out kind of an interesting side, is that you can take more risks with the song choice as well. Like, you don't have to just play, I don't know, the singles or whatever. You can also just, what are some, like you know uh songs that are kind of forgotten from the other albums, and you just go and digging into that, like, oh yeah, we should do that one, lad. It's there's so much you can do.
cool. So do you ever write lyrics first, or is it always music that starts leading the way?
um Actually, like, on this album, I feel like what most of the songs had in common was that the lyrics came like alongside the writing process, and or at least the melody. And that, you know back in the day, we used to, when you're young, you're trying to figure out how to do stuff, and then a lot of times it'd be music, and then you just try to fit some words on top of it, but the melody is really like, um, in some ways, it's in a lot of the songs now, it's like a driving factor, so it's what influences the other chord choices and stuff. So I guess, yeah, like, we're kind of maturing in a way. So yeah, it's cool to be able to have everything cohesive.
So how do you keep things fresh then between albums and tours? Do you jam when you're traveling or just chill?
It's funny that you ask, because we do jam quite a lot, and it's not really where most ideas come from, but some, for sure. And we tend to jam a lot in sound check,
Yeah.
and our sound guy, he's starting to record every time we jam, because he was like, you know uh, he's not even in the band, and even he was like, oh my God, that jam today, that was like, that could be a song. And we were like, oh, I mean, like, you just fuck off and forget about it, like, you don't really think about it twice, so so it's cool that, at least somebody's trying to uh you know record stuff.
Cool. So can you tell us a little bit about your tour that you've got coming upcoming? You're on tour now, aren't you? Or you just
Oh no, we just went to Austria
right,
this weekend just for a festival,
right.
um, and we got like EU tour coming up, which is like going to be September, October, hitting like the main like capitals, and then we're coming to UK after that.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
yeah, and yeah, it's gonna be I think yeah, it's like 9 shows in the UK, so quite an extensive tour, and yeah, we just love it, like we played so much in England, and we love going to Scotland and Ireland as well.
Being from Iceland, do you think the landscape or culture sneaks into your sound at times?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the landscape is of course kind of it shapes you in a way, like, but I think maybe like I was thinking this yesterday, like probably like just the weather is the driving factor. Like the weather is generally quite shit in Iceland,
Yeah.
and you have a lot of like horrible storms.
Ah,
So yeah, like even when I was going to I went to a bit of a job this morning, and then um, I went outside. Was going to ride my bike, and just like just when I walked outside, it started pouring rain. So it's just like, yeah, fuck,
that's not.
But you always have to like, yeah, you always have to kind of like be fighting uh, fighting nature somehow, and I think that's kind of makes people think a little bit differently for sure.
So you're still a young band. What does the future
Mm.
hold for you guys? And do you think what would you like to see? Where would you like to see yourselves in 5 to 10 years time?
I mean, hopefully just doing still doing music and just being doing bigger, better shows. Really, like that's really what we are aiming for. And now, like we used to not play so much in Iceland, but now we actually started to kind of focus a little bit on Iceland as well, and that's really uh, is also helping to make things sustainable for us as well. So um, and it's the place where we would prefer to live. Of course, if we're gonna tour Europe or the States, it makes sense to live there. But um, yeah, so just in the future, I think we're just doing you know bigger stuff and taking. I would like to take more chances. Like I would like to just try out new things. Because there's no sense in really just releasing the same album
No.
again and again. So um, there always has to be some kind of evolution and something to get the creative juices flowing.
Do you ever
So
think about in the future doing like a full acoustic album? Has that ever come up?
it hasn't come up, but it's certainly something that would be quite interesting, like doing acoustic stuff. I mean, like we've also discussed like stuff like um, doing like EPs of like just different sorts of material, like maybe doing an EP that's just jams, or like maybe doing like we've talked about like having guest artists from Iceland,
Ah,
doing like something like that, like uh and maybe even doing like famous Icelandic songs and like a rock version or something. I mean, there's so many things you can do, and I think the future for us definitely holds more and just having more fun with it. Like there's no point in doing this if you're going to be so serious about it all the time.
and many bands like go down the orchestral route. Is that something you think about doing sometime?
For sure, yeah. I mean, we have discussed it, like not like full orchestral, but we have discussed having strings on a
Yeah,
few songs,
right.
and like it's something. We do that stuff now with like we've done it with like a mellotron, like and like a synthesizer, or but like this last album, Portals, was very much about physicality, like the natural, like everything. Like there's nothing like plug-in instruments, nothing. It's like it's all about like capturing stuff from a speaker or like from a source.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what excites me about doing something like having strings on a song. It's just like the physicality of it. Like when you listen to us play, it's like really like it's loud, like it's really like uh, you know, uh, you're affected by it in the room, So I would love to incorporate something else that you'd be affected by in the room. It's yeah, just some random thoughts about that. Yeah.
So you recorded the album live in one room, yeah? How does that raw energy then translate to your gigs?
I mean, it just felt like more like doing a gig, like we had everything in the room, the amps and everything, like so it was just like blaring loud. But for the first time, I think on an album we sounded like ourselves.
Ah,
So it's like if you separate everything, you have everything in a booth or something. It's like it does sound like us, but there's no cohesion. You don't hear you don't hear the bass amp rattling the drum kits, and you don't hear the stuff that you would do, of course, here live. So
uh-huh. So when you've been live, who in the band has the most annoying habit?
Most annoying habit. Um, yeah, that's a tough one. Like, but I mean, we used to live together, and then I remember for about 2 years, I was sleeping in a room with Oscar, our singer, and he had this terrible underwear which had like a huge hole like down below, and so for weeks at a time, I just wake up every morning and see like he'd always had put his sheets off, and then I just wake up and see straight into his nether areas.
Not good.
Yeah, it was just like I mean, once or twice is okay, but it's when it's like 10th time, you're like, come on, just like put on a pair of shorts or something.
Right, so what can we expect for you guys live then when you get to England, UK? What can we expect?
It's a lot of yeah, like we always do, like a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of power, and we're really looking forward to play these new songs live. We really like went all out with the productions of them, and they're a pain to play live, but it's but it's just when you got it down, it's like it's just we love playing live, and it's just what we've been doing, always been doing, and hopefully we'll always be doing. So
amazing. All right, and so then, can you tell us why we should check out Portal? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if you like rock music, if you like yeah, I mean, it's just we're really proud of this album, and it's just I can promise you that it's a very musical journey, through very diverse types of like rock and roll, and if you like that energy, it's just check it out.
Amazing, mate. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Oh yeah, just the people in the UK, we really appreciate you, and we love coming there. It's like it's just awesome, and we look forward to seeing you guys in October, November. So.